Technology Services is proud to announce Team Travel.
We're going to start. This is Alice.
Offers the best and proven travel destinations for your patrons. We offer unique trips with exceptional concierge services that are easy to sell and priced to fit any virtual, hybrid, and in-person fundraising events, as well as raffles and silent auctions. With over 10 years in the charity business and over 8,000 trips sold throughout the world, we know what gets your donors excited and buying, even multiples.
Look at Dean back there in the corner.
Each trip is created by experts who know our packages thoroughly and understand the travel demands based on the demographics of the nonprofit's donors. We are involved in every step of your travel process, selecting unique travel destinations, selling by our knowledge auctioneers, and
Your red jacket.
equals a wow factor experience for your donors. We work directly with the locations to bring you the best deal and help you raise much more for your mission. Contact us today for your fundraising event and travel needs.
So this is Allison Ames from Atlanta, in charge, Director of DN Travel. This is a big deal. Give her a round of applause.
I think I have the easiest and most fun subject to talk about. So let's hop into it here. I just want to talk about why you should include travel to begin with. As you guys know, last March, the whole world came to a complete stop. And travel has picked up slowly but surely, faster in certain parts of the country and a little slower in other parts, and then of course overseas it's struggled a little bit. We're getting there. I was just reading an article that Kaylee just shared with me about the EU, and they are beginning to lift the travel restrictions. We thought on June 1st that they were going to, just allow any vaccinated U.S. citizens into the country, but there was issues with that. How do you track that? It's a piece of paper. You can buy those pieces of paper on the black market, and I don't know. It just got very difficult. So it's constantly changing, but it hasn't slowed travel purchases and auctions down at all. And Dean can talk to this too. He can attest to this. Even last fall, we were selling European packages. Travel is still the #1 seller at a live auction event, for sure. And so, travel's super hot. Everybody wants to get away. They're dying to get away. Our entire goal as a travel company is to take your donors' philanthropy budget, their travel budget, and marry them so that they're spending money with you, giving to an amazing cause and getting an amazing trip. Our experiences raise more money than other items, and we specialize in, and we'll talk about this in a second, but we specialize in more of the experiential travel. We have very few packages where we're just sending people to hotels. We feel like people can buy hotels, book them on their own. It's not as exciting as private residences and some of these really unique destinations. And then, just to give you a little bit of history, and you can move forward, Kayla. So Dean and I worked together for, oh goodness, I guess it's been about 3 years. I worked for 2 different consignment companies. Dean was my biggest account at both. He sold the most trips of anybody that we worked with. So we became pretty close working together, and I was scratching my head one day. I was like, why are you not doing this? I mean, I know the ins and outs of it. You know how to sell it. Let's cut out the middleman. We can pass along all those savings to the nonprofit as net raise. And so that's kind of how we started. I have about 25 years in the hospitality industry. I worked with Marriott, Starwood, IHG, and I've spent a couple of years in private residence sales as well. So that's the experience that I bring to the table. You talked about COVID hit, and like I said, it just didn't change the sale of travel. We're selling the dream of travel. You don't have to take the trip next week. We virtually, when COVID hit, we virtually eliminated all expiration dates on all of our packages, and we just held. We're starting to re-implement them now, but we're implementing them at 2 years from now. We still haven't re-implemented Europe and all of that because we're just not able to send people really comfortably there yet. We have about 30 travel packages. We specialize in private residence, experiences. And the great thing is we can customize if you have something, if you have a theme. I think you did Catholic Charities, and they had sort of a Western theme, so we built a few more packages that had more of a Western theme, Rocky Mountain High, which we have already. We built a new Montana package, more outdoor stuff. We can build that if that's something that you want. That's kind of the advantage of working with us directly. And then as far as budgets go, we have everything that will fit into a silent auction, all the way up to super ultra luxury, vacations. So why we're different, really, we've cut out the middleman and pass that savings to your net rates. That's what we want to do. When we were working before, there was a company between Dean and the nonprofit. We've cut that out completely. We work directly with your donors, so there's no one to drop the ball. That was the other thing where Kayla dealt with all the time, is you would have an event, and you might have 5 packages, but there might be 4 or 5 different companies involved that are servicing that trip on the back end. So you've got donors working with this company, 2 donors working with that company. It's not very effective, and you lose control of the service experience and the overall experience for your donors. And what you want them to do is take the trip, be totally amazed, come back next year and buy 2 more trips. That's our goal for you. Consistency, the same thing. With us working, we provide that consistent experience from the very beginning to the very end. From Dean at the very beginning of planning your event to me working with your people to book, go, come back, and wrap the whole thing full circle. Like I said, don't see what you need, we can create a custom package. And we're constantly changing the packages. We have stuff that we try and it sits and it doesn't do anything. We don't eliminate it, but we just find something else to take its place. So, if you have an event, you don't have to worry about, oh, well, I had those 6 packages last year and I'm stuck with those 6 again. We can completely customize that. We're always changing, and we try to change every season. Right now we're working on fall for the fall. And then the one-stop shop, like I talked about before, it's just the added piece of what DM Auction Services offers. It was the one thing that was missing, and a pretty big thing. So we're glad to bring that in. It's been quite a ride. I started with Dean in November, and it was kind of a slow go. And then I think because most of the organizations he works with are Texas-based, when the governor of Texas lifted everything, it was wild. Now we have, it's every week we have so many people planning travel. It's so exciting to me because that means that the world's moving again. I was at the airport. I flew here. This is the first time I've flown since I did Hopeful Beginnings with Dean in November. And the Atlanta airport was insanely busy. So it was so nice to see. Travel's definitely back. One more slide. Oh yeah. So DM Travel, if you can click on that. If you go to our website, you will see at the top let's see if we can get it to work.
While you're working on that, I've got a question.
Yep.
The 2 years ago, when we did this,
Yep.
there was, the middleman was, the cost was such and such. Now that you've cut out the middleman, can you estimate how much, if any, reduction in the cost to us on a trip? 5%, 10%, 10%?
I'd say 10%.
Yeah, I would say
Okay.
Be 10, about 10%.
Okay, good. That's great.
Well, I mean, literally, they took my money. I didn't have much contact with them. They all wanted to be paid right away. And then bingo, it was, like depending upon another concierge. So we've come in-house with Allison and her group, and we own it. We own the destination. We work with the destination directly. So it's a better situation. You're seeing more money go, is what you're doing. So as far as the trips go, you know, why don't you go through what we've got, it's on there, and go to our, a lot of the trips are back there, but go to our website, and later, and go to DM Travel, at the very top is the last line item, go to DM Travel. Once you go through what the trips are, basically.
So this is not going to cooperate for us today, but if you click on, if you go to our website and go to the DM Travel tab, which is up at the top on the far right, you'll click into the top trips. As you click, as you go through those trips, you can click into each one of them and you'll pull the flyer. It's printable, it's a PDF, you can send it. And it has all of the details of the trips. It looks just like this. It's in this format, so it's got all of the information. This is a travel voucher, so this is a freebie. But it looks like this. It's got how many people, how many nights, all of the information that you need to look it over. And so the hot trips, so I'll talk about the hot trips right now. So what's selling, obviously, still a lot is domestic. Our Kentucky bourbon trip. Today, we are going to launch, and this is kind of big news, and I was hoping I'd get to show it to you on the screen. We're launching the counterpart to Kentucky bourbon. We have probably sent out maybe 6 or 8 of those trips since we launched it in the early spring. And it is a 3-night trip to Lexington, Kentucky. And you tour 4 bourbon distilleries. So it's Wild Turkey, Woodford Reserve, 4 Roses, and Buffalo Trace. It's also a $150 dinner at Jeff Ruby's Steakhouse. And so it's been wildly popular. Everybody's raved about it. And so we've now put together Tennessee whiskey. So now that trip is based out of Nashville. And it is 3 bourbon distilleries, Jack Daniels, of course, George Dickel, and then Nashville Craft, which is a craft distillery in downtown Nashville. It's also a lunch and tour of the Johnny Cash Museum, which is kind of a unique experience in downtown Nashville, and then $150 at Jeff Ruby's in Nashville as well. So that package launches today. They have the same reserve price, so and they're interchangeable. That's another thing, if I can talk about that for a minute. We had a lot of people that had purchased packages at other events and had not used them before COVID. They came to us and said, hey, you know, I bought Ireland. I don't want to go to Ireland. I'm not comfortable to go to Ireland. And we're able, because we took travel back in-house, we swapped it out. We swapped it for Rocky Mountain High, or maybe, you know, Savannah, or, you know, whatever. We're able to work that for people as well. So
it seems like cutting out the middleman, you're a lot flexible.
yes.
When it comes to the script, that's huge, because a lot of things do happen, and you always, like, I'm always like, well, what if this? I don't know if I want to do this because this happened, and I'm stuck with this, and I don't want to do it.
Right.
So that offers like a huge,
And I think we learned that in 2020 too. We learned that if Dean took travel under his wing in his company and was in control of it, yes, we would gain a lot of flexibility through a lot of things. Even consignment companies, unfortunately, some of them didn't make it through COVID. So there was that issue too.
I think that's a good sell right there in itself.
Yeah, and so it is. It's one-stop shop.
Well, the 10% reduction, I just did the math on our 2019 event real quick, and if
I mean, overall, I mean, we got from
we would
David.
put another $5,000, just like a 10% reduction to our bottom line, just because they're doing it.
It's not the head, it's a headache you can deal with somebody else too. I mean, I don't know who they are. We never met these guys.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, we didn't. It just was very uncontrolled. And so other big trips, Rocky Mountain High has been a huge seller. That's a 4-night in either Beaver Creek or Vail in the non-ski season, so spring, summer, fall, for 8 people. Our ski package has always been popular. Another thing that we were able to do when we moved away from the consignment companies was we were able to add accommodations. So some of the consignment companies that Dean was working with and I worked for, they had 1 unit in Beaver Creek. So you can imagine how many weeks of ski is there? 14, maybe 15, maybe 16. So it's only 16 people, only 16 winners could go in one season, right? Because there's one home, it has 4 bedrooms, you win a package. Dean sells 5 or 6 of those at an event, so it was a problem. Now we work in a pool of accommodations, so we have 6 or 7 units in Vail and 6 or 7 units in Beaver Creek that we can use. So we can send out 12 trips. We can send out more. It's really limitless. But we have a pool that we use in each location. There's very few, I don't think there's any trips anymore because we don't have Hawaii anymore. We got rid of it. We don't have anything with one. Everything we use, a pool of, and that's huge.
Do you ever work with, or now or in the future, with any cruise line companies like River Cruises?
I have called them, I've talked to them, and I'm just not comfortable with cruises because you want to have this port, you want to stay up here at this place, the cabin with this, the cabin with that. Cruises are, they'll do a deal of all deals, and people are real picky about cruises, Alaska cruise or Caribbean cruise. And I looked at this about 8 years ago, and I just backed away. Cruises are hard to deal with because very customized, a lot of headaches. It's like we don't do airlines anymore. I quit doing airlines 10 years ago because you want to upgrade to business, first class or business. We only giving you a coach ticket, and you can get a deal. I just book myself on my miles, so I don't need to buy any airlines. So we've eliminated that. So we don't have the airlines. The cruises are really tough to deal with.
Mike, if you did the River Cruises.
I called them. I've been on it.
Yeah,
I've
they're
called
all
them.
usually, I mean, the cabins are all alike. There's not
They're
really.
beautiful. We went on one 2 years ago, and Gail and I went, and it was gorgeous. It was, what river was it? The Rhine. Yeah, and I called them directly. They don't need me. You know, they're bigger than I am, I guess, so I'm like, okay. So they just said, hey, we're fine with it. But some of the trips we're talking about, I mean, in Europe, I'm selling Europe, Ireland a bunch of times. We're selling Santorini in Greece. We're selling Champagne, French Champagne. We're selling Amalfi Coast. We're selling Tuscany. And we just announced Monte Carlo and French.
Oh, Nice?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nice. Oh, yeah, we just released Nice, so it's a 7-night stay for 4 in 2-bedroom in Nice, France.
So Monte Carlo, I mean, this is a big deal. I mean, this is huge. We sold this on Instant Buy 2 weeks ago at that Kessler. We sold 1 or 2 of
Priced really well,
those. It's
too.
priced really low. But this is Nice, Monte Carlo. This is huge. You're on the Mediterranean. And right now we're looking at, this is what we're doing. We're always trying to refresh a little bit. What are we doing in Spain?
Majorca, so we're putting together Majorca now, so it'll be probably a 5-nighter, 2-bedroom villa. We're just, we've got to vet the villas.
So do these trips have to be through an auction, or can we call you and say, I want to go here, what do you have, and then.
You mean like a travel company?
Yeah.
Or like for some, online, or what do you say? Because we offer these, if it's like online system, we can do that. But we're not like mom and pop travel company. I mean, we kind of do this for the charity fundraiser for the events as a value add.
I guess we were asking if we wanted to buy that package outside of an auction, would that be okay?
Yeah, I mean,
I think we're looking at that. I think Dean and I are going to talk about that this summer and have some sort of philanthropy aspect to it. So maybe it's $200 of the purchase, the price goes to your charity of
That's the
choice
answer.
or something like
yeah,
that.
we'll
We're
go
working
back
on
to
that.
your charity.
Yeah,
which I know
that's-
you did.
Yes.
The answer is yes.
That's
We
what-
just can't be into a travel company of 9,000 phone calls 24/7
Right.
because we already have that. And again, to answer your question, my son's going, all-inclusive is going. We have another couple going. Kaylee is going all-inclusive to Cabo. So we do that. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
Phil wants to go to Majorca, we'll do it. We'll put it together because we want you to be there, take pictures,
Yeah.
send them back to us and say, wow, I've been to Tuscany twice, me, myself. Kicked the tires, went to all the places, had a great time, and when I get on stage, I'm going crazy. But the United States, we've got to pick a beach, Naples or Destin, Florida.
Yeah, well, it's either Gulf Shores or Sandestin, so on the Emerald Coast of Florida. We have Charleston, we have the Southern Charm package, which is Charleston, your choice of Charleston and Savannah.
Broken Bow is popular as you can
Broken
imagine.
Bow is.
We got a cabin in Broken Bow, I've been there. It's 2-hour drive, Broken Bow.
We have somebody there right now.
We have somebody in the cabin, right? This is popular. So to answer your question, up to $200 plus, we'll go back to you guys, go back to you. But You know, I mean, you're gonna make buy this at your own auction, so, but if you wanna go somewhere, yeah, we're there to help you with that. Okay,
That's it. Any
Any
other
other
questions
questions?
for me?
This
On
is a
travel, we
major
have
part.
some of the boards back here, but if
Yeah.
you go to our website, that's where you can see all of our top
Yeah.
trips.
Ever do spas?
We
Like
should.
Austin or in
Yeah.
Arizona?
that's what we're doing now, we're already looking at those spots. I mean, I know your deal in Mexico, I've sold that
Well,
16.
no, other than that.
Yeah, you've already you've run that course.
Yeah.
To answer your question, the answer is yes. It's a girls' trip. We've got the girls' trip to go to, what's the girls' trip we were selling? Napa, people want to go to Napa with that. But to your answer your question, the spa, the resort, the massage and all that, that's in the hill country or whatever. So we do have things like that. We have a birdie package put together under COVID. We go to Birdie, Texas, wine tasting, distillery, neat hotel and all
Texas
that.
Gulf
But your answer is that's a good point. Is a
Lake
spa.
Austin spa.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, last thing,
Oh, yeah.
so, and Dean can talk about this too, but
Oh,
we
go
have this option, or is it, where you book with us, and this is at Dean's discretion, I'm really involved in this, but, we have these two travel vouchers, which somebody will win one today, yeah? Two? One?
Two.
Each one will win one, and one will win the other, but these are basically freebies for your organization. So they can be used as a raffle item, they can be used inside an auction, but they're trips valued at about $2,000, and that's about what they should bring you in additional raise. So, and that's sort of our gift to you. We want you guys to travel with us, we want your members to travel with us, and we want you to use us.
So every one of your events, we're there to help you. I mean, it's raffle for you, Jennifer, it's silent, it's giveaway for some particular thing for the night. They love it. This is a big deal. It's not like, here's a piece of jewelry that they would want or staycation at some hotel. This is a big trip. These are beautiful places. We got a deal, I built a deal, we put it together, and now we have this event. And that is a value add that nobody else that I know of has.
Well, and I think in closing, just let me say that the other great thing is that Dean has done these auctions a bazillion times. He knows what is selling, what's not selling, what's hot, that he can really advise you guys on that. So that's the other key too. If you go through a consignment company, they're going to shoot you some trips, and that's going to be the end of it. They're gonna be like, here's our most expensive trips, just take them. They're in the business to sell trips, and that's it. We're in the business to create memorable events all the way full circle.